Hold on. I did not interrupt you, so shut up and let me finish. Well, I am not surprised at all, Mr. Morgan, that Mr. Dershowitz, your guest, is defending the murderous Israeli army because he's famous for defending murderers in American courts. I think he's used to that. Huh. He's even famous for defending sex traffickers like Epstein. I want to say that what you see in Gaza now is an act of genocide because 12,000 children have been killed. And these are not 19 years old. These are 5, 6 years old, and 3 years old, and 2 years old. These are children, for God's sake. I am against the killing of 30 Israeli children, which happened on the 7th of October, because they are children and civilians. But nothing in the world could justify, because of the killing of 30 children, the killing of 12,000 other Palestinian children. That is unacceptable. You should look at the real figures. 30,000 Palestinian civilians have been killed, and 72,000 people have been injured by the Israeli murderous army. This is 4.5% of the population. Hold on. I did not interrupt you, so shut up and let me finish. 4.5% of the population of Gaza have been killed or injured. If that had happened in the United States of America, you would be talking about 12 million people killed or injured in 4 months of time. Is that acceptable? And mostly civilians, 70% are civilians. More than that, Israel is killing Palestinians not only with this terrible genocide, with their bombardment, they are killing Palestinians with starvation. This terrible siege, 50,000 pregnant women, Palestinian women, don't find a place to give birth in. 64,000 breastfeeding women cannot help their babies. And more than that, 700,000 people are now starving because Israel is preventing milk, flour, food to the population of Gaza City and the north of Gaza. And more than that, they shoot the Palestinian hungry people when they are trying to get some food.
Okay, Mr.
They
Barghouti,
shoot them and kill them like they did 2 days ago.
Mr. Barghouti, let me ask you a question.
100 people and 860 others were injured. So my response to you, yes, this is genocide. These are 3 war crimes happening at the same time. Genocide, collective punishment, and ethnic cleansing at the same time. 70% of all homes were destroyed. All universities were destroyed. 30 hospitals out of 36 hospitals were destroyed. 347 of my colleagues, medical doctors.
Are you prepared now to condemn Hamas for using children as human shields, for using women as human shields? Are you prepared now to condemn that war crime?
This is a lie.
They don't. You deny
it's a lie. It's
everybody in the world is wrong.
They don't hide behind
it's
children.
It's not true. They don't use any human shields.
It's a lie. You are repeating. You ask me, I will answer you. You don't want me to answer your questions? Let me answer. It is an Israeli propaganda. Yeah. And if you look carefully, and you are a famous and well-known lawyer, I don't doubt that. But I want you to look at the fact. For me, Anna Frank, the little Jewish child who was killed by Nazis, is not different from Hind Rajab, who was a Palestinian child, 6 years old, who was stuck in a car with 6 of her family members killed by the Israeli tanks, screaming and asking for help. And instead of helping her, they bombarded the ambulance that came to help her and killed her.
You're not answering the question. Do they use human shields or not?
Anna Frank and Hind Rajab are the same. No. What human shield? She was in a car surrounded by tanks.
I'm not talking about
and the
her.
Israelis killed her.
I'm talking about
For me, she's a victim
of children
of same Nazi behavior
I'm not
that
disputing
killed
that.
Anna
You're
Frank.
changing the subject.
You should start to see
You're
us.
changing the subject.
No.
Mr.
See us
Barghouti,
as
let me ask you a question.
Gaza is 140 square miles with 2.3 million people. Where should people go?
Why do
Gaza
they build?
was
Why
besieged
does,
for
hang on,
17
you're
years.
avoiding my question.
Besides
why
the
does
fact
Hamas,
that it was occupied for such a long time.
Let me repeat
Where
the question.
would they go? How could they fight?
Let me repeat
with Israeli
my question.
airstrikes that
Mr.
are
Barghouti,
killing them around
don't
the
shout
clock?
over me.
I mean, you're asking them.
I'm asking if Hamas does not want to use civilians as human shields,
Please.
why do they build tunnels around schools and hospitals?
First of all, you are again, Mr. Morgan, you are again repeating Israeli propaganda. It's not true what they say. And yes, they build tunnels to hide from Israeli airstrikes, of course, like Vietnamese built tunnels to hide from American bombardment in Vietnam. It's the same. But to say that they are taking people, civilians, as hostage, as shields, is not true. Wait a minute. I see Hamas fighters on Al Jazeera network attacking Israeli tanks with very little weapons. They keep repeating statements that Palestinians said that, a Palestinian said that, but the reality is that it is the Israelis who are doing the crimes. First of all, you keep repeating Israeli propaganda.
Just answer my questions, Mr. Barghouti, please.
You accuse Palestinians of being terrorists. Let me answer.
Yeah, Hamas are
George
terrorists.
Washington was accused of being a terrorist because he fought for the independence of the United States. Nelson Mandela was put on an American terrorist list for a very long time. Martin Luther King was accused by racists of being a terrorist. Sinn Féin party, which struggled for the liberation
Can you
of
answer my
Ireland,
questions?
were also accused of being terrorists. But nevertheless, I'll answer your questions. Yes, all Israeli prisoners must be released in exchange of all Palestinian prisoners who should be released, including a relative of mine that I told you about before, who has been in Israeli jail for 42 years, including hundreds of Palestinians today. But you have to understand, we the Palestinians will struggle in every possible means to be free from occupation, from apartheid, from oppression. It's the right of the people who are oppressed to struggle for their freedom. It was an American right for those who struggled against British colonialism. It was the right of Martin Luther King to free African Americans. It was the right of Nelson Mandela, who struggled to end apartheid in South Africa.
Okay.
We need to be free from
I have to
follow Martin Luther
apartheid
King.
and